Members, following resolution. Clerk, read the resolution.
HB 1912 by Wu, whereas many dedicated Texans are gathering in Austin on May 10, 2017 to take part in the inaugural Refugee Advocacy Day at the state capitol. And whereas for decades, the Lone Star State has been a leading destination for the resettlement of refugees. Over 40,000 refugees began making new lives in Texas between 2010 and 2015 alone. And whereas the state has more than 20 refugee settlement offices, most of them with specific faith roots, multi-faith partners unite their efforts out of mutual commitment to helping vulnerable populations facing persecution. And in this endeavor, they continue a tradition that has resulted in the resettlement of hundreds of thousands of refugees in the United States since the end of World War II. Whereas refugees undergo extensive, stringent screening before they are admitted to the United States, and communities across Texas have welcomed them as hardworking neighbors who bring new energy, new ideas, and that lead to innovation and economic development. Refugees demonstrate the resilience, determination, and optimism that have always defined the American spirit. And over the years, they have become taxpayers, business owners, and leaders in a broad range of industries. And whereas the advocates visiting the Capitol on this day include community volunteers, organizations that serve refugees, refugee leaders, and members of a wide variety of faith-based organizations. In an era that has seen an unprecedented number of refugees fleeing danger and oppression, it is indeed appropriate to acknowledge those engaged in refugee resettlement for setting a humanitarian example that is respected and admired around the world. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives of the 85th Texas Legislature hereby recognize May the 10th, 2017 as Refugee Advocacy Day at the state capitol and extend to all those participating in this event sincere best wishes for continued success.
Chair recognizes Representative Wood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Welcome to the first ever Refugee Day in Texas. And if you're here in the gallery or you're here with us for Refugee Day, would you please stand up and let us recognize you? Let's give them a big round of applause. Now, Texas is home to refugees from all over the world, from Iraq to Sudan, Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Burma, Afghanistan, El Salvador, Ukraine, just to name a few. Many of them are in the districts that we represent. And I know that Houston and my district is home to one of the largest refugee populations in the entire United States, and we are very proud of that diversity. Texas has over a 40-year history of refugee resettlement. It is one of the states that have taken the most refugees in the United States. Today is an opportunity to recognize the significant contributions of refugees and all they bring to our state, our communities, and our economy. Refugees are taxpayers, they are entrepreneurs, they are consumers, they are business owners, and they are leaders in our communities. And along with this, I want to recognize the faith-based groups and the nonprofits who work in this arena, and I want to share my story with you. My family came to the United States in about 1985. When we came here, my father literally had two $20 bills in his pocket, and that was it. And we would not have survived. We would not have made it to this point in life, but for the generosity of our local churches and our organizations that helped us, and people who gave us what they have earned to help us survive because it was the right thing to do, because it was the Christian thing to do, because it was the human thing to do. And I want to thank everyone, not just here who is a refugee, not just everyone here who is working in an organization that helps refugees, but for all the individuals that helped my family to bring me to this point in life. Thank you very much. And I want to recognize some of the people on the dais. I think a lot of people were supposed to, more people were supposed to be here, but I think people were caught up in traffic. Amanda Poisson from Refugee Services of Texas, please wave. Jeff Watkins from YMCA. I told you I would butcher your name. John Shortman from Catholic Charities, Fayed Al-Abid from Catholic Charities, and Abigail Branch from Catholic Charities. Thank you so much.
Chair recognizes Representative Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I want to give a personal shout out to a couple of people and groups. I, for many years, was a part of what's now called Interfaith Action of Central Texas, formerly Austin Metropolitan Ministries, intimately involved for many years and served on their board. A shout out to Lou Zaidan with Refugee Resettlement Program of IACT. They do amazing work there. I also want to give a shout out here in Austin to, we have Refugee Services of Texas and Caritas, both of whom provide tremendous services to a lot of folks in this area, but particularly to resettling the refugees, the asylees, the survivors of human trafficking from many countries. I know Caritas is planning to settle 550 international refugees this year. They do tremendous work. A lot of these are faith-based communities coming together and making sure that these refugees have an opportunity to assimilate into our culture and become productive citizens and our neighbors and friends. So I want to thank them for being here today and thank you for your work for our community. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Bernal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'd like to talk to you guys today on this day about a school called Colonies North in my district. Working with Catholic Charities, Colonies North is an elementary school where there are over 40 countries represented and over 30 languages spoken. And in that place, you'll find children from all over the world who don't look at each other with suspicion. They only see other human beings that they can learn from and that they learn with. And I believe that we can learn a lot from those children. And this is a day that we highlight their accomplishments and the best of who we are in society. Thank you guys so much.
Chair recognizes Representative Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I want to just thank Representative Wu for bringing this resolution and the folks in the gallery and on the dais for being with us today so we can make note of this important resolution. And I would just say in my district, in District 101, Arlington and Grand Prairie, we are very privileged to have a very diverse population, including people from all over the globe, many of whom came here or their families came here as refugees. And people come to the United States and seek to come to the United States for the promise of better opportunity, the promise of religious freedom, and the promise of being able to work hard and be successful for themselves and their families. And Texas has always had that great tradition of welcoming people in who are willing to work hard and play by the rules. And I hope we'll all work hard to maintain that tradition now and in the future. Thank you all for being here today.